Shalom, shalom. I want to start this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All praises due. This video was a request from an Ak that had actually hit me up yesterday. He had mentioned that he's been having visions lately. And some out-of-body experiences, and he kind of wanted me to touch on it in a lesson. I believe the Ak is going to post on his page. You know who you are. Shalom to you. But I wanted to title this message, Messages from On High, because the Most High speaks to us all differently. He's not going to, what he shows someone else is not going to be what the same thing that he shows you. The Most High is versatile. Doesn't show everybody the same vision, and he doesn't speak to everybody the same. There's going to be different scenarios that you're going through in your life, and the Most High is going to, of course, know what you're going through and speak to you to maybe get you through that situation or whatever it might be. But just wanted to hit a few precepts on this. Like I said, I'll titling this Messages from On High. Really didn't know what else to title it, but this is really for an Ak who had hit me up in Messenger and said he's been having visions and some outer-body experiences. So I want to go to this first precept. This is the Book of Joel, chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and I am the Lord your power, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. So this was prophesied to come to pass in the last days. A lot of Ox and Aquat are having visions, whether it be about the kingdom or the tribulation, the great tribulation, spiritual power, any of these events. We're having these visions, and it's because the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai is pouring out upon his people in these latter days, mainly to those who are awoke in this truth. So you got to understand, this is a big prophecy that is coming to pass, and it's still ongoing. Many of our Ox and Aquat, they're still having visions right now of what's to come in the future. So this is nothing new, and just gotta know that. I believe the Ak also mentioned something about angels as well. I can't remember exactly what he said about angels, but I wanted to go into the description of what angels actually look like and where these elites and really Esau and these Japhites, what they put in these movies and how they portray the actual angels of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, because the angels that they put in these movies are, so-called aliens. They're green. I don't know how to describe them. They're like green figures or whatever, have 3 eyes. Well, they got this from the word itself, and it's in Ezekiel, the first chapter. I'm going to go to verse 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, Salat. And everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings. Verse 7, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. Verse 8, and they had the hands of a man under their wings on their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces and their wings. Verse 9, their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went every one straight forward. Verse 10, as for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man and the face of a lion on the right side, and they 4 had the face of an ox on the left side. They 4 also had the face of an eagle. Verse 11, thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upward. 2 wings of every one were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies. So this is where they put it out there that the angels are aliens, or there's just creatures from another planet in a sense. But no, these are the angels of the Most High, and this is what they look like. They don't look exactly like us. They look different, and if any of us saw one of these angels with our naked eyes, we'd probably just drop. It'd probably be too much for us to even look at. And this is why we have to be changed. And in Psalms 91st chapter, in these latter days, of course, when we've collected the wealth and we've basically are on top in rulership, we're actually going to be communicating with the angels. Let me get that precept real quick. This is Psalms 91, I believe it's verse 11. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. This is going into the protection that we're going to have. And we're going to, of course, the angels are going to guide us with the spiritual power we're going to get. Of course, when we got to protect ourselves and protect the wealth that we have, because the Most High is not going to bless us the way he's going to bless us and not give us protection. We're going to have supernatural protection, and we're going to be able to defend ourselves from enemies. And that goes into Zechariah, the 12th chapter. So we got to understand, man, hey, we're going to be seeing things that are from a different realm, basically, that are not of this world, but they pertain to us because we truly aren't from this world. We are different. The Most High's word says we are a peculiar people. It's because we come from him. And that's why going into, let me get it. Oh, it's a lot. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the power, neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption. We cannot inherit the kingdom the way we are now. We're going to have to be physically changed. And we're going to get those incorruptible bodies, which is going to cement the fact of eternal life. Because once we get those bodies, we'll never be able to die. So we got to understand, man, this is all prophecy that's going on right now. And when we, of course, get these incorruptible bodies, it's going to be it. It's going to be something beyond imaginable. I can only imagine what we're going to look like. I definitely think we're going to be taller. us men are going to be taller than what we are now. But I can really only imagine how the Most High is going to physically change us and what we're going to look like when we do get those incorruptible bodies. But I want to read down to verse 54. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Verse 54, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. So once we get those incorruptible bodies, we're going to be able to go to different planets and travel through space. And just, once the kingdom is fully set up and established, of course, Yahushua comes back and picks us up in those chariots, those so-called UFOs, which is also explained in the first chapter of Ezekiel as well, exactly what they look like. And there's more so-called UFO sightings day by day. They're appearing everywhere. Why? Because pursuing the second Esdras, the 9th chapter, the Most High is beginning to visit the world in which he made. And in those chariots are angels, the angels of the Most High. And I just went into exactly what they look like. They don't look like us. They look totally different. So it's going to take faith for us to continue in this and to know that, man, we're really heading somewhere. We really are. And that's our redemption right there. Yahushua comes back with those angels, man, that's it. We're going to be taken out of here and back to Israel. So, wanted to get this as well. This is the book, St. John, chapter 18, in verse 36. This is going into before Yahushua is, of course, going to be executed and, sacrifice himself for the nation, us elect. So this is verse 36, John 18:36. Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence. So Yahushua made it plain as day that the kingdom is not of this world. That's why when you go back to 1 Corinthians 15:50, it says flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom, because the kingdom is not of this world. We're going to be setting up shop on different planets. You see, it's going to be totally beyond our imagination. And when you go to John 14 chapter, let me get that real quick. John 14:2, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you. What's that talking about? That's talking about the different planets. Because Yahweh, of course, he's in the celestials. He says earth is his footstool. So the celestials as a whole, that's his throne. The universe is his house. So he's got many mansions in him. That's going into the different planets. So the kingdom is not going to just be here. It's going to be everywhere on different planets, man. We can only imagine what we're going to look like and how when we see these other different planets, I mean, it's just beyond our imagination. We have no idea what the Most High has prepared for us. And that's going back to 1 Corinthians 2:9. We have no idea, those roughly paraphrasing, we have no idea, eye hath not seen nor ear heard the things the Most High prepared for him that love him. We have no idea what he has prepared for us. So we can't even imagine it. This corruptible mind can't imagine Yahweh Shem Shah's plans for us beyond this. So we can only continue in this word and continue in this faith and believe it's going to be greater than what we can imagine. So also wanted to get this, the Book of Enoch. If you read about it, this goes into dealing with the celestials as well. And this particularly goes into this chapter 17, which I'm going to read, goes into an angel taking Enoch on a journey, and some of the stuff he was seeing. So hey, let's just read it. This is Book of Enoch, chapter 17, verse 1. And they took and brought me to a place in which those who were there were like flaming fire. And when they wished, they appeared as men. And they brought me to the place of darkness, and to a mountain, the point of whose summit reached to heaven. And I saw the places of the luminaries, and the treasuries of the stars, and of the thunder in the uttermost depths, which were a fiery bow, and arrows in their quiver, and a fiery sword, and all the lightnings. And they took me to the living waters, and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. And I came to a river of fire, in which the fire flows like water, and discharges itself in the great sea towards the west. I saw the great rivers, and came to the great river, and to the great darkness, and went to the place where no flesh walks. I saw the mountains of the darkness of winter, and the place whence all the waters of the deep flow. I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth, and the mouth of the deep. So Enoch saw, he saw a lot of stuff in the celestial. So we can only imagine what we're going to see, You can read on down in chapter 18, some other stuff that he's seen. But I'm not going to do that for the sake of time. But just wanted to go into how the messages that we get from on high, we understand are very real. And, the word backs that up. So, hey, man, it's going to be truly something when we take on those incorruptible bodies and are able to travel through space and do different things. So I think that's all I wanted to get in this message. Lord willing, you were edified, Ak. This one was really for you. I know you had said you had some visions, some outer body experiences that kind of scared you. I would probably, talk to the Most High about that more. Like, Lord, what are you trying to show me? Lord, can you, maybe guide me through the word of what exactly you're trying to show me through these visions, Maybe talk to him more about it so you could get a better understanding of what he's trying to show you. Because he's not going to just show you visions for no reason. He's trying to tell you something. And the only way you're going to get that is really through the word, the understanding of the word, and him guiding you to what he's trying to show you. Because the Most High sends us messages, like I said, in different ways. But yeah, Lord willing, you were edified. Want to end this video by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All praises due. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.